Happy Easter. It's another dark, edgy magic girl show. If you're not familiar with the subgenre, it's like Sailor Moon if she cut herself. I'm being literal. This show in particular does deal with issues teenagers, specifically teenage girls, go through, and tries to mix that into the other world when they're fighting monsters. The monsters are linked to trauma, or an abuser. The show is set around suicide. Each of the girls chosen to be edgy Sailor Moon type girls were close to another teenage girl who killed themselves. They're brought to another world and see a statue of the girl, whom I guess is in some sort of purgatory or hell. They get Wonder Eggs from a gotcha machine in a garden beneath an amusement park with two weird puppet guys who kind of vaguely guide them. They don't seem malicious, but they don't really seem to care. When the girls crack open a Wonder Egg, they're taken to an alternate reality or some other plane of existence, and a girl who committed suicide comes out of the egg. The characters have to protect them from smaller monsters or demons, really, and the main monster being their trauma. If they successfully defend these girls and defeat the trauma or monster, then the statue of the girl they're trying to bring back gets a bit warmer, it becomes a bit more human, or alive. The ultimate goal being to bring them back to life. The way the magical weapons work is also tied to this. They can use items of their own they have some connection to, and each girl they're trying to save has an item of their own which can be given to the magic girl to transform it into a weapon. Whatever damage they take in this world also applies to them in the real world, even though really some of the hits should just kill them. At least there are stakes, and they are risking their own life to help these girls and get what they want. The execution of the show may not be perfect, but the ideas are good. One problem with the writing is the characters don't seem to be interested in how this works, or what the puppet guys are. They don't even ask. No one seems interested. They just go along with it. It'd be fine if they said they couldn't answer something. It just seems like someone would at least ask. They also don't mention how the items used to fight back work. The main character just randomly has to figure it out. She just has to assume she can attack with a pen. This might make sense if they wanted the girls to fail, but they don't seem to want that either. You could say they mostly don't care, it just seems like it's more to have suspense early on rather than because it makes sense. Same way the girls not asking about them seems to be more to keep it a mystery than because they wouldn't care. This show seems like it's targeted at younger people, but at the same time it's not. I don't just mean because it's a bit more violent, or mentions things like suicide. I mean at some point early on, there's a big titty monster. There's a big woman with 4 painted tits, and they shoot goo or paint or something. I can't show you, but it's there. The cast expands as the main character meets other people in the garden. It seems pretty natural. Don't watch episode 8, it's a recap episode and there's nothing new in it. I don't see why it'd be needed in a show with just 12 episodes and a special episode. The show's okay, so if it sounds interesting you could give it a try. The Jimmy Neutron shit gets kinda stupid later on, and certain plot points go forward because people happen to be around to see and hear something rather than through any effort. Then they continue not asking any questions and even leave when they're told. It doesn't seem natural, it just seems like it's happening to advance the plot and then keep people interested and drag it out. They also seem to go on about gender a bit too much, but don't really go anywhere with it. Not in a misandrous kind of way, just appearance. Ultimately, the show does something different toward the end, compared to other shows like this, and there's no cop-out. At least the Jimmy Neutron shit goes somewhere. The special episode starts with a recap. It ends at 25 minutes in. Some people say you shouldn't watch it. You really do have to watch it. They also don't cop out with the reason they were going to the other world. And the way it works makes sense. It's how I expected it to be anyway. The Jimmy Neutron shit makes more sense too, and goes along with what happened earlier in the show. It does end on a cliffhanger, but with everything revealed and a clear idea of what's going to happen next. It might get another season. If it did, I'd watch it. People say the special is depressing and you shouldn't watch it. I think it ends on a hopeful note overall, although I can see that they kind of breeze past some things. Overall, the show was okay, but even with how heavy some of the subject matter was, I didn't feel emotional. I think it would have been a bit better if they focused more on the outlandish, esoteric side of things than trying to be more grounded. Especially the thing with cross-dressing going on and on. It wasn't that interesting, a bit more time spent on something else would have been better. I've watched pretty much every edgy magic girl show because people always say how good they are, but I don't really see the appeal. I'm still not a big fan of these shows, but it was okay. I did this because it has egg in the name, and it's Easter.